Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of New York Football Giants Talk. Uh, Kenny K here, along with my great friend, my brother from another, Paul Rosen. Here to get started. We got the post combine show tonight, Paul. Paul, how are you doing this evening on this wonderful Tuesday evening?
I'm doing well. Good evening, Kenny. Good evening, everybody. Uh, Post combine, as you said, we get into the meat and potatoes of the off season in the NFL with the free agency starting next week. So, as great as the regular season is, it's almost better in the off season with all the rumors, trades, free agency, who's going number two, three, and four, and importantly, number five to the New York Football Giants. So let's start off the show.
Let's start off the show. I do have. Let's ask you a question first off the agenda because we're going to talk about the combine. We're going to talk about some players whose stock is rising. We got our friend Bobby Blackjack going to join us in a little while. Big Notre Dame fan, so looking forward to that. But I do have a question. Well, we let some people roll in. Next week starts free agency, Paul. Monday, and might as well announce it now. Schedule change next week. We're going to have a free agent frenzy New York Giants show. Maybe we'll get to announce some free agent signings live on the air next week. But my question to you, Paul, could be a re-sign, could be a new player coming. Who, in your opinion, is going to be the first New York Giant sign? Give me a prediction on who the Giants' first free agent of 2026 will be.
Well, I would love them to re-sign Wandale Robinson, but that's part of the rumor mill that we'll talk about later. But I think he's going to be going to a certain team in Tennessee. But if I had to sign one player to help this team, I'm bringing. I, 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 I guess I want to bring in a defensive player, a linebacker to help this team. I couldn't give you a name. I'm not sure if it's going to be a trade or free agent, but we'll talk about the rumor mill in a little bit. But that would be the kind of player that I'm looking for the Giants to bring in.
Love it. I'm with you with. I'm gonna go two ways here. I'll do the boring route, which is re-signing a player. get the offensive lineman out of the way right out of the gate, sign Jermaine Illuminor, bring him back,
Good.
protected Jackson Dart's right side. You can move him to guard if you go and decide to draft somebody in the draft early. But bring Jermaine Illuminor back. That's the first signing. New player to come. I'll give you a linebacker. I will go bold and take him from Carson's Lions. I like Eric Anzalone, the long-haired
Wow.
blonde
Okay.
linebacker.
Yeah. The blonde
I believe
bomber.
John Harbaugh wants to revamp this linebacking core. Bobby Okereke not coming back. We're going to get into all that a little later, but just wanted to get a quick thought on who do you think the Giants will bring in free agent? Who will be the first one that we get to announce on next Monday?
I like that. I like that. Good.
So
All right.
let's switch spots, Paul. I'm going to hand the agenda off to you. And by the way, thank you, Paul. All this stuff in my walls here is from Paul directly as gifts to upgrade my sports room here. So thank you, Paul.
My pleasure.
Long time coming, but can't see it here. That's a letter from John Mara that Paul received from Super Bowl 20. Not Super Bowl 20. It was from 2008. Paul received a letter. Paul went to the Super Bowl and knows Mr. Mara personally and got a typed letter with a signature in return. Very nice, Paul. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, let's jump right into it. So we are post combine, but for those of you who watched the show last week, both Kenny and I made some little predictions of some players that we were either looking forward to seeing at the combine or maybe some surprises. So maybe we can each quickly talk about maybe three players, either offense, defense, doesn't matter. So I'll start with you, Kenny. Name a player that you brought up last week and how did that how he did at the combine.
Absolutely. And by the way, real quick, Kurt loves the wall. Very impressive. And he's saying,
Very
"What's up,
good.
boys? What's up, Kurt?"
Hey,
Kurt, check out Kurt. Kurt, by the way, I know this is a Giants show, but check out our co-host on K&K Sports Show, Kurt Valenti, has a new channel on YouTube, Broncos Daily. They have a Giants channel on there too. It's called Fan Arch, FANARCH. Kurt, congratulations on landing that. That's very impressive. And you're doing a great job over there. So go check out Kurt, but go check out the Giants channel as well on Fan Arch on YouTube. And Ernie's also saying hello. What's up, Ernie? He's saying
Hey,
hello,
Ernie.
Kenny and Paul. I'm going to mention a guy that I'm mentioned, and not too many people have mentioned him before his combine for the Giants, and that's Kyle Lewis out of Pittsburgh. Mentioned this guy, linebacker, hybrid, could fall into a safety role, depending on the defense, depending on the scheme. He's a I don't want to say he's a tweener, but he's 6'1", 220. Captain of University of Pittsburgh at the combine. What he did was 4.53, which was third out of the linebackers. Second in the broad jump, third in the vertical. I like the verticals. That means you're defending. And if he's a safety, if he's going to be converted into safety and not a linebacker, I like the vertical jump. And third in the verticals there. Captain of the University of Pittsburgh, ACC school, led the defense. I think this guy's going to have, the pro day, but I think this guy's going to climb up boards. I think this guy could be in play if the Giants get a third round pick. I don't think he's not going to be a first round pick. He's not going to be where the Giants are picking in round 2. Giants may have to move up into the third round or get a third round pick for him, but very impressive. I think the Giants could go after him if he sits there and falls into the third round, Paul.
Okay. All right. I was going to go with one player, but since we're talking linebackers, anyone who's been watching our show consistently knows I have fallen in love with this guy, and he didn't disappoint in the combine. Jacob Rodriguez. He won all the major awards, the Butkus Award, the Nagurski Award. I mean, except for the Heisman, he won all the major awards in college football as a linebacker at Texas Tech. And he also did not disappoint at the combine. 4.5740, which is amazing for his 38 and a half vertical, which is also fantastic. And he did all the position drills very, very well. This kid, again, probably around the third or fourth round, someone is going to grab this guy. I hope. I know, like Kenny just said, we don't have a third round pick, but I just somehow hope the Giants can somehow either move up or he's around maybe in the fourth round, because this guy to me is going to be a steal. Whichever team gets this guy, he's just a football player. I keep saying it over and over again, and I think he's going to make a tremendous impact in the NFL. So that's my first guy. I'll start off with my next round. All right. We were talking a little bit last week about the running backs. Of course, Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame. I mentioned, boy, I'm losing my Jarian Price, of course, the other Notre Dame running back. And we'll talk about these guys in a little bit. Another guy I mentioned, though, Mike Washington, big running back from the University of Arkansas, 6'1", 223, 25 pounds. Had the fastest time in the 40 for a guy that size, 4.33. Incredible combine, 39 vertical, 10.8, almost 11-foot broad jump. The kid definitely made some money for himself. Probably shot up into if not the late first round, maybe second round or middle of the second round. I think this kid is going to go fast. And for his size to run a 4.33, in addition, he had the highest athleticism out of any running back, and that's including Love with a 92 rating. So this kid did it all at the combine, and I'm glad to see that he did well. Give me another player, Kenny.
Listen, national champions, my Indiana Hoosiers, D'Angelo Pons. He only did one drill, and that was the vertical jump, but 5'9", and ran and he had the top vertical for corners at 43 and a half. So D'Angelo Pons, you don't know what's going to happen with Cordell Flott, Deontay Banks. Secondary's weak in the Giants. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Corner's a weak position on this defense. Mm-hmm. D'Angelo Pons, winner, ran only the one drill there, but watched him in the national championship make plays. The guy's a winner. That's what I want on this defense is winners, captains, guys that are leaders. D'Angelo Pons, his stock risen in my opinion, and I think he could go in the second round. And we'll see what he does at his pro day, but this guy I think could be, in line for a nice rise in his stock, if not for the Giants, for somebody else along the way. So give me the winner. Give me D'Angelo Pons. Ran the one drill, and he exceeded everybody else at 5'9".
Nice. Yeah, I remember you mentioned him, and to do that kind of vertical at his height is incredible. Give me a third and final player that you had mentioned and how he did at the combine on over the weekend.
I mentioned I wanted to see the two offensive linemen, my guy Managua and Spencer Fano. Well, Managua didn't do any drills, but Spencer Fano, he stood out. Sub 540, and I think he's going to be a top 10 pick. I know some people got him outside the top 10. Some people got him as high as the Cardinals. I'm with it as high as the Cardinals. I think, and I'm a Miami Hurricane fan, but if you're not running any drills at the combine, Spencer Fano's stock rose for me, and I think he's going to be in play for the Giants, depending on what they do in free agency. Spencer Fano could very easily be in play for the Giants. and somebody I would not be disappointed if the Giants ended up taking.
The interesting thing I read about both of them, and I watched the offensive lineman, and I was disappointed that Francis didn't do any participation. But I watched Fano, and he was excellent. I mean, he tied for the second fastest time in the 40. His skill position was amazing, and his, I think, uh, 10-yard cut was, I think, 1.72, which was fast, and that's what you want from an offensive lineman. So yeah, he did a fantastic job. My last one is also an offensive lineman. I mentioned this guy last week, Blake Miller, right tackle from Clemson, started 54 games at right tackle for the Tigers, had two pretty good runs of 5.01 and 5.04 40. He did great in his vertical and the broad jump and all his position skill groupings. So this kid also did very well. And maybe the Giants, if they haven't taken an offensive lineman by the third, fourth round, maybe this kid might still be available, and they might be able to take him perhaps in the middle of the draft. So we'll see. But the players that we talked about, they all came through. They all came through and had pretty good combines.
Absolutely. Paul, let's do this. I want to hit the comments. Got a hello from Josh BT coming back saying evening, gents. He's giving us a salute. I'll give you a salute as well. Thank you, Josh. And our good friend Alf Sucks at Mock Drafts is back this week. That's up, Alf. Love, got the best name.
Hey,
He's got a comment. Let's get your thoughts on it, Paul. He thinks Sonny Styles is the pick for New York after that combine, especially if they cut Bobby Okereke, which I think they will. And he's also saying, which they should. He likes. Give us your thoughts on Sonny Styles, Paul, and then I'll add anything extra to it.
Yeah, I mean, probably if there was a MVP of the combine, I think he would have been handed the trophy. What a performance this kid elevated himself because most mock drafts had him maybe top 10, maybe top 15. I even saw a few that had him going to Dallas, maybe with the 20th pick. If this kid didn't make himself money by not only barging into the top 10, I think into the top 5, he's put himself into a position where the Giants are going to have some serious questioning to do about who they're going to wind up taking, because we'll get into it in a little bit, but there's going to be 3 or 4. And I could tell you Buckeyes from the Ohio State that the Giants may have a choice to make. So yeah, Sonny Styles is going to be right up there. I agree, Al.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm going to agree as well. And I think he could seriously be in play for the New York Giants. When you look at John Harbaugh's past, Ray Lewis, of course, the best. Bart Scott was pretty good. C.J. Mosley was pretty good. He's always had a good middle linebacker, and it looks like he wants to revamp this linebacking core. This could be the play, Alf. And then he comes in as well, Alf, saying Monroe Freeling would be fun also if you want to take a swing for upside. He's been primarily a left tackle, but he's the best athlete on the offensive line in the class, and he's got the size to stick. He did have a good combine, and you know, I watched him too. I think he will climb up as well, of Alf, and we'll see. I don't know. It could be fun, you know. You do take chances. If he's your number one offensive tackle, you take him. You know, if you have him ranked number 1, I don't care what Mel Kiper and all these experts say. Monroe Freeling's your number 1 guy over Fano and Managua. You take him at 5. So I'm not against that neither. If I'm going to trust, you know, if it is a reach, if what the experts say a reach, I'm gonna have confidence, all the confidence in the world that our coach and staff and scouts know what they're doing. So I wouldn't be against any pick at number 5.
Well, I will say this. If they like that kid, I could see them trading back with somebody, maybe to 10, 15, and still being able to get him if that's who they really think could be that offensive lineman they want, while also accumulating some more draft capital. But
Yeah,
that's another alternative, and we can talk about that.
sure.
All right. So,
One more comment, and then we'll get it. We'll get
yeah,
the
go ahead.
segment. Alf saying in my most recent first round mock, I had Freeling going 6 to Cleveland, especially after Fano's arms came out short.
Okay. Interesting. Very good.
We're gonna have to change the name to Alf Aces mock drafts if Monroe
Right.
Freeling's taking at 5 or
Right.
6 there, Alf.
Seems
Gonna have
like
to
right.
change
It seems like he's pretty good, not sucking at it. So
Yep.
very good.
All right, Paul, back to
So,
you.
yeah. So speaking of Ohio State and Sonny Styles, perfect transition. Thank you. Couple of interesting tidbits. Not only did Sonny Styles perform amazing at the combine, but his brother was incredible, who was a defensive back at uh, Ohio State, but had been previously, and for those who know, I'm a huge Notre Dame fan. Lorenzo Styles was a wide receiver at Notre Dame for a couple of years, hit the transfer portal, went to Ohio State, and then what did he do? He only ran a 4.27 as a safety at the combine the other night, and don't think he's made a rise in the safety evaluations to the scouts and coaches to say, hey, listen, there's another safety at Ohio State, not just Caleb Downs. So just wanted to indicate that. And then one other thing, Kenny, that maybe a lot of fans don't know, Caleb Downs also, without a doubt, one of the top 10 players. This kid is considered a leader, just a captain. Anybody who gets this kid it's a plug and play, as they say. Well, in doing some research, Kenny, the other day, what did I find out? Caleb Downs, his father, was actually drafted by the Giants in 1994. Gary Downs is his name. Caleb Downs' father. And Gary Downs was drafted in the third round of the 1994 draft by the Giants as a running back out of North Carolina State. So here's the bloodlines. I'm not saying that that's a done deal, but hey, if the Giants draft Caleb Downs with that fifth pick, that would be very interesting.
Totally agree. 4.27, like you said, his vertical wasn't great, but they're predicting him a day 3 pick. I would think that would be in the 4th round. And Alf, I'm not, and everybody else out there, I got some more people coming in. Draft Sonny Styles at 5. I'm on board with bringing the brother in round 4 because, like you said, bloodline, they're going to feed off each other to be better than the other. Give me both brothers on the same team. They were on the same team at Ohio State. That tells you something. A lot of times brothers don't play on the same team. They played. They both started. They're both going to get drafted. Sonny's going to be a top 15 pick, and Lorenzo may get into a day 2 pick. And I'm on board with taking both of them and have them
All right.
both feeding off each other for a few years. Let's get some hellos in. Good friend Jimmy Eisenman. What's up, gentlemen? Hope all is well. Let's
Jimmy.
bring on the draft. And our good friend Keith Brugman from Denver Bronco Roundup Rocky Mountain Sports Network. What's up, Keith? Giant
Hey,
football experts, how are you? I'm excited.
doing
I'm
well.
excited. I'm excited. Free agency next week and the combine just passed, Keith. I'm excited.
All right. So since it is next week, free agency, let's play a game, a Giants rumor mill. And the name of the game is Love It, Like It, or Hate It. I'm going to give you the name of a player. It could be one of our players. It could be one of NFL player, either trade or free agent. You tell me you love them, like him, or hate him. All right? You guys can play along out there too. First one, the rumors that the Giants are looking at running backs, both free agents and through the college football draft. First name I'm going to give you, and he was not tagged, Kenneth Walker III, the MVP of the Super Bowl. Love him, like him, or hate him.
Like him. I don't hate him. Obviously, Super Bowl MVP, showed up in the big games, but I don't love him because he's had injury history. So I don't want to bring on a running back who, already got Scatterboo coming off an injury. I don't want to bring in the running back in who has an injury history at that price where it's going to be double digits for Kenneth Walker when he may not give you 17 games when he hasn't done it yet in his career. But I like it. I like it. So, but after you go, Paul, let me hit the comments because people are playing along. So I want to get the comments
Okay.
after you answer.
I love it. I think if you can bring in this kid to the team with Cam and Tyrone Tracy, and we'll talk about Tyrone Tracy in a couple of minutes. I think you bring him in, and I would love it.
Good friend Roy Osborne. Hello, Kenny and Paul. It's about to get
Hey,
hot
Roy.
this preseason. Al saying about Denard Wilson. Our defensive coordinator would love Lorenzo Styles. Athletes like that don't come around too often. Josh hates it. He's not on board with Kenneth Walker. So there's a love with you. There's a like with me and a hate. That's right. Alpha's a Seattle Seahawk fan. Kenneth Walker rumored to the Giants. If you get him, treat him well for us up in Seattle. We'll miss our Super Bowl MVP. A couple more. Jimmy likes him, but the price may be too much. That's what I was saying. And Alpha's saying he didn't have injuries this year when he got to split some carries with Charbonnet. He could do the same with Scatterboo. Keith likes it. Kurt wants Walker or ETN, then re-sign Dobbins. Pair with RJ Harvey. Forget about it. Kurt's trolling the Broncos stuff. Let's talk about Giants, Kurt. Let's talk about Giants. Kurt's colorblind. Kurt's colorblind. It's blue and red, Kurt, not blue and orange. Messing with you, Kurt. We love you.
All right. Well, speaking of Etienne, he's the next one on my list. Travis Etienne, running back from the Jaguars. Love him, like him, or hate him.
This one I love. I know it's double priced, I just said, but he's shown that, he can be the main guy. And he was the main guy over there. It wasn't really a committee. It was ETN. Some other guys got some carries, but it was more ETN. That's who I would bring in. I think he could be 1,000-yard rusher and a feature back for the Giants. Scatterboo can come in and spell him and ease Scatterboo in from his horrific injury last year. So I love that one. I'll let you answer, and then we'll hit the audience again because they're playing along and a lot of comments. Keep coming, keep them coming.
All right, I'll make another category. I strongly like him. I've always liked him. I loved him when he was in college. I would love to see the Giants, if they don't get a guy like Kenneth Walker, bring in Etienne. I think he would fit in perfectly with the Giants. He's a good dual threat running and receiving.
Jimmy loves ETN. Just make this the next guy we talked about. Paul, you guys should take Love, absolute stud. They're my love. Best player in the draft from Kurt, hands down. Then we got Alf coming in. You could do that and hang up Tracy as a trade piece. You're going to get into that in a couple minutes. You got a nice idea for Tracy. With the bad running back class, teams may pay a premium price. Aloha, Patrick. Patrick, aloha.
Hey,
Patrick Brooksy, Lion Coffee, taking care of us over here. Go check out lioncoffee.com. Patrick, 10% off your Lion Coffee products. Best coffee on earth by far. You will not be disappointed. Keith, ETN's a love. And Jimmy says it'll be affordable.
Okay.
Thank you.
We talked about
playing along. This is fun.
Yeah, we talked about linebackers. there's a guy who had a big role on the Bears this year that they are basically saying, try and make yourself to trade yourself. If the Giants cut Bobby Okereke, which sounds like they might, Tremaine Edmonds, love him, like him, or hate him.
Right down the middle. And I don't think he's a huge upgrade from. I don't think he's much of an upgrade from Okereke. I would say if the price is cheaper than Okereke, I think Okereke is making 9 million around there, 9.2 to be exact. If it's a little less, I like it. If it's the same or more, I hate it. But I'll say like just for this segment purpose, I like it if you bring him in.
Okay. We all know that the Giant rush defense was terrible the last couple of years. Hopefully, with Denard Wilson, it'll change. A guy that missed all of last year, but is known very, very well by our good defensive tackle, sexy Dexter Lawrence, a guy that he played with at Clemson. Kristen Wilkins is available and is a free agent. Love him, like him, or hate him to come in and play alongside Dexter Lawrence in the middle of that Giant defense.
Real quick, Jimmy likes Edmonds, has more to prove. This is my first hate. And it's my first hate because we had a chance to sign him last year, and Giants never brought him in. You could have got him on the cheap, free agent, released. Nobody picked him up. There's a reason. I hate it. I would not want to bring him in.
Okay. All right. I would like, but at a very, very reasonable price. If they could sign him sort of on a make good type of deal. Other than that, I wouldn't bring him in.
Jimmy loves Wilkins if the price is right.
Mhm.
Keep throwing one at you, Paul. Like, love, or hate, making the trade for David Montgomery before the Texans did.
Yeah, I would have, without a doubt. I thought him and Jameer Gibbs were a fabulous combination. I would have loved that. Texas, I think, made a great trade to get him. I think he's a really good running back. So good one, Keith.
Alf is saying he thinks Salah and Dable are going to fall in love with Jeremiah Love and take him at 4. He's the best playmaker in the class on an offense that needs them. If he lasts to 5, would be fun with Jackson Dart.
Yeah, without a doubt. And the Titans are similar to the Giants in the sense that first year quarterback, they need skilled players around Cam Ward. Same thing like Jackson Dart. So would it be shocking if Love was there if they would take him?
Before you
Not really.
I got one for you from Keith. Jawan Taylor, offensive lineman, like, love, or hate?
Yeah, surprising, but not surprising. The Chiefs let him go. Um, if you could get him, not at that salary, but if you can get him fairly reasonable price, I'd say yes, definitely bring him in, without a doubt. If he can improve the offensive line, without a doubt. I imagine there's going to be changes in the O line for the Giants to upgrade it. If that would be an upgrade, which I think it would, bring him in. I guess it also depends on Illuminor and how Harbaugh sees him.
That's what I was just going to say. I like it if Illuminor signs elsewhere.
Mhm.
But if you got a chance of Illuminor or Jawan Taylor, if you bring in Taylor, I hate it if Illuminor is still there.
Okay.
Uh,
Let
we
me
got
give
our
you.
guest backstage. We can continue this
All right.
segment. I want to introduce our
Let me-
guest. Who's
Well, let me
backstage.
give you one more, and then we can go into the combine and Notre Dame folks. Let me
Okay.
just do this one last one. Um, Last one, linebacker. If he's released, he has a history with John Harbaugh, Patrick Queen, also one of those first round picks that Harbaugh has had at Baltimore. So love him, like him, or hate him.
This one I absolutely love. I would bring him in, revamp this defense, played with John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh brings him in. They sign him. That tells me something. If they bring this guy in to be the revamp of the defense, you go and draft a Sonny Styles, and now you got Patrick Queen and Sonny Styles can be a mentor to the younger guy, and transition could start. And I'm in love with that one more than any, by far over any other player you mentioned so far.
All right. I agree with you 100%. Save the best for last. I love that guy. The fact that he does have a history with Harbaugh, he's proven himself. He can rely on him, bring the defense together, and it would be amazing. And obviously, he's had some experience with Denard Wilson, so it would be a really good pickup. So yeah, I love it.
Quick one
All
from
right.
Keith. Max Crosby worth your number one plus? Like, love, or hate? I'm gonna say for the Giants' purposes, hate. We already got enough on that front to give up that price right there.
Yeah, I love Crosby. I mean, I know you guys want him out of that division, but at the cost at this point, if the Giants were one defensive edge rusher away from getting into the playoffs and Super Bowl, I'd say yes. But at this point, no.
Paul, let's welcome our special guest this evening.
Okay.
He's no
What?
special guest to a bunch of us. Mr. Bobby Blackjack Fuente from Surge Sports, which we are now officially part of. And thank you, Bobby, for joining us tonight and bringing us on board with all our shows on Surge Sports. It's been a great start to great addition to the family here, and we are so excited to be here with you. And I do want to mention those of you, I see some are watching on K&K, some are watching on YouTube on the stream. Go and like both channels if you can. It's free of charge. It really helps the channels out. So if you're on K&K, flip over to Surge, give us a like, and if you're on Surge, give us a like on K&K. Helps the channel out, gets us noticed, and it's completely free of charge. So if you do like what you're seeing, help us out. Appreciate you all. And on Facebook as well. You give us a like on Facebook as well. Bobby, how you doing? Welcome
What's up,
back.
fellas?
Hey, Bobby.
I just sent Kurt a screenshot of my TV before I was on with your show on the big TV. So I'll send it to you.
Nice.
I sent
Awesome.
it to Kurt.
Thank
he
you.
was looking for that last week. What's up, fellas?
We're excited to have
Hey.
you on. Combine
Yeah.
just ended. We're talking about some key free agents. So Paul's got a nice segment for you and for all of us, and continue on to the end of the show. We got about a half hour. Is that okay with you? You can hang out about a half hour.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Good. Before we get into that and Notre Dame, let me just mention, I'll do 30 seconds. Giants apparently are interested in whether it's free agent running backs. They've interviewed Jeremiah Love, and we'll talk about him in a second with Bobby. Here's off the cuff what I'm thinking. You have Cam Scatterbull, you bring in another good running back. They have a guy, Tyrone Tracy, who both Kenny and I love. I'm sure Bobby loves him too. I think what they should do with him, he was a wide receiver initially at Purdue. They converted him to a running back. What I would do with Tyrone Tracy is move him to sort of a Deebo Samuel type of player that the 49ers did. Use him as a wide receiver, use him in the slot, use him as a running back for 3-5 runs, use him sort of a jack of all trades. And I think you could get a lot of value for a guy like him. Because if you have Scatterboo and you bring in another player, I mean, from my mouth to God's ears, Jeremiah Love. But I think a guy like Tracy could be utilized with his skill set in that type of way. It's just something I'm just brainstorming, but hey, we all are dreaming of ways our players could help us better. So that's my sort of short synopsis of what I would use Tyrone Tracy for. Anyway, speaking of Notre Dame and Jeremiah Love, Bobby, the combine,
Notre
we
Dame
had a few Notre Dame players participating in the combine over the weekend, specifically Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price, and Malachi Fields. So why don't we talk a little bit about Bobby? Why don't you go first? If you watched the combine, what'd you think of Jeremiah Love's performance?
I mean, I don't really watch that stuff. To me, it's like watching golf. You know, you don't get much out of it. But you know what? But like golf, though, you watch the best shots on SportsCenter or something, and it's the same effect, right? You go through all the you miss the fluff, and you get the good stuff. So, you know, his performance seemed the way that the sports world is responding to it. It's that, oh my God, you know, it's one of the best performances they've seen in a long time, and as for a running back, that kind of cemented him in that stratosphere of Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs. You know, there's very few backs out there in the NFL today that are game breakers and, you know, could play all three downs. And, you know, the reason why you want a guy like Jeremiah Love is he's the type of guy like those players, one play and they're in the end zone. So that's why you want that. Now, Paul, I believe you're an Irish fan as well.
Yeah,
it makes me sick to see the top two running backs are our two guys who didn't get a chance to play in the damn playoffs.
I know. That's the unfortunate situation. You know, if he goes to the Cardinals or a team like that. But listen, I watched the combine, and might be like watching paint dry. But hey, I wanted to see him go all out on Saturday, and he didn't disappoint. I mean, it was funny because they showed his father in the audience in the stands watching him, and he did a 4.37, and his father was shaking his head like, "Oh no, that's not good enough." And then he came back on his next run and did a 4.36. I mean, he just lived up to what everyone is saying, that, you know, he's probably the best player in the draft, and he did his position skills flawlessly, caught the ball. His movements are incredible. So he's just anybody who gets this guy he's a superstar, and he's I keep saying this, he's just a humble guy. He's very respectful. So he's going to be a team first player, and any team who gets him is going to have an amazing addition to their team. Let me ask you, Jadarian Price. I also saw him perform. I know you probably didn't, but give me your feelings about Jadarian Price.
Well, last time I was on with you guys, I think we all agreed that Jadarian, and one of somebody on my Facebook page when I posted about Love said this as well. Jadarian Price would be a fantastic second round pick for us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, the one thing he has that is that me? Oh, the one thing that he has that Love may not have, he has those kick return capabilities.
Yeah.
So Jadarian Price I would love either one. Actually, I would take all three of them on the Giants. we need a big receiver too. Malachi Fields is a big guy.
Yeah.
We need a big receiver. Hey guys, how about this, Kenny, Paul? Did you see the haul the Lions got for David Montgomery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what Tyrone Tracy could get in a trade?
Yep.
David Montgomery is 29 years old and is on the other side of the mountain, so to speak.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that trade. I'm going, all right. I know we have Tracy. That's probably going to preclude us from getting Jeremiah Love in the first round. You know, then I see this trade come about, and I'm like, wait a minute. Why couldn't we make a trade like that and get a couple players back and a couple draft picks for Tyrone Tracy? That way we can hopefully get Love at 5.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this question coming from Alf sucks at mock drafts. I'll ask the Notre Dame guys. We'll ask Paul first and I'll ask Bobby. If Price got the bulk of the carries, he'd be a top 20 pick.
Without a doubt.
Oh, he's
I mean,
top 10 without a doubt. I can't see him going
yeah,
out of.
he would have started probably for half the college teams in college football this year. He was no slouch at all, and like Bobby mentioned, not only did he run the ball, he's an excellent kickoff returner, and that'll be a big thing that he'll do. I'm sure, probably more so when he first gets into the NFL to run back kicks. It's funny, Bobby. Price ran a 4.49, and that was almost slow compared to some of the other runners. But hey, I'll take a 4.49 any day of the week. And the guy's built like a brick, like a Greek god, for crying out loud. So I mean, you're getting a guy who can do everything, and I think he probably played himself into the end of the first round at least by performing the way that he did.
And they also love Paul. They also love the fact that they asked him about, in the world of NIL and all that money being thrown around. They love the fact that he wanted to be part of the Fighting Irish, and he was not swayed by making more money going somewhere else. That means you have your head on your shoulders, and NFL guys love that. These draft picks and whatnot.
Yeah, that says to me, he was raised right. You're talking about Love, I know.
No,
he
Price,
was raised.
Price.
Oh, Price. Okay.
CBS Sports had a little article. They talked about 5 players who never switched schools, asking him why. And he's one of the players they interviewed about that. And he's like, no, I could have made more money going somewhere else, but how do I tell my mom I'm leaving Notre Dame?
Yeah.
That's a good character right there.
It's a good point from Alf. He's saying, that's why he was saying, you got a bad running back class is pushing the price up for running backs in trades and free agency as well.
Yeah.
Tyler Tracy could be worth something if you really wanted to go that route.
He's saying he watched every snap of Jadarian Price this season because of Kenneth Walker's departure. He's a Seahawk fan joining us, and we appreciate you joining us as a Seahawk fan. And he thinks he'd be a great pick for Seattle at 32. So you guys were just saying late first round, Seattle could be in play for sure.
For Alpha, sorry guys, for Alpha, that's a great pick right there, because then maybe it'd be too late. But then again, you don't have to sign Rashid Shaheed, because he would be your running back, or at least in the beginning, your returner as well.
Yep.
I just saw actually one of the mock drafts after the combine, and Price was selected by Seattle to go in that mock draft at 32. So yeah, they were thinking along the same lines. Let's switch over to wide receiver. Malachi Fields did not do as well as I thought he would do, which might be a good thing, because hey, the Giants got Bo Collins last year as an undrafted free agent. So if they're looking at Notre Dame wide receivers, that might be something in the 4th, 5th round. He might still be available, but he ran 2 4.61 and 4.62 40s, which doesn't sound slow, but compared to some of the other wide receivers in the combine this weekend, was fairly slow. But give me your feelings about Malachi Fields, Bobby.
Didn't the name is escaping me. Who's the guy who also had a bad 40?
Cornell Tate.
Tate didn't have a great 40 either.
Yeah.
In the 4.5s.
The Bills GM was like, oh, he ran slow. We don't want him, sarcastically.
Right.
So,
yeah.
You know what? Hopefully we have our speed stud in Neighbors, right? If he gets back from the, injury or whatnot. We need somebody to go over the middle and catch the balls.
Yeah.
Was Pascal Burris ever a speed guy? No. He was tall hands guy. That guy in the end zone who's 6'3", 6'4", who can outjump the D-backs who are barely above 6'1".
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you want receivers like that. And I think
Yeah.
he'd be a great addition to our team as well. Hey, and the Giants have been watching Marcus Freeman. So if they're watching Marcus Freeman, they're watching the damn team itself. So
Right.
Yep.
And, there's speed and then there's football speed. And sometimes football speed plays differently than real speed. So I'm not saying he's not going to be able to make it in the NFL, but a guy like that, as you say, is 6'4". And if you have any questions about him, watch the Pittsburgh game against Notre Dame, and you saw some of the catches that he was making. So I would draft him if I could, if I were the Giants.
and guys,
Um,
how many speed guys that they rave about end up doing nothing in the NFL? I think the
I
Chiefs
can
have
think
two.
of one right off the bat, Kenny, right?
The Chiefs have two of them on their team. Two of those guys are on the Chiefs right now. Oh, they're so fast. Let's get them now. Who's the guy we had a couple years ago?
Go ahead, Paul.
Jalen Hyatt is the
well, not
name
only him. Who's the other guy we had for
Tony?
like one season? I believe the Bengals are the
John
Browns.
Ross. John Ross.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, the guy's 6'4" Let's go get him. He's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I know.
I'm with
Let's
you with
do
I'm with you with the hands, guys, real quick, because we talked about Lorenzo Styles just in this combine ran a 4.27, the brother of Sonny Styles. So if you're running a 4.27 on the opposite side of the ball, how many wide receivers are blowing by corners? They're really not. And then you got the safeties to help. I want the big guys with hands as well. And I would not be against Malachi Fields, even though it is 4.6 40. I would not be against him coming to the Giants.
And you
Yeah.
know what? You don't see on these combines, like for these defensive backs, what's your speed running backwards? Because it's not a thing you do. Because if you're running straight ahead, you're gonna blow past anybody, right?
Yeah.
Because like Kenny said, you have the safeties behind them, but so that some of that 4.2 stuff, speed stuff is a bit overrated.
Okay.
And you mentioned
let's-
John Ross real quick, Paul. Sorry, Alpha. I'm so sad John Ross didn't work out. Washington Huskies legend.
Right. Let's do this. Next segment. We were
thanks.
playing a game earlier, Bobby, for the Giants rumor mill. This is a college at the number 5 pick. I'm going to give you guys both names. I'm going to give you names, and let's do it quick hitter style. This we're sort of running out of time. You're either going to tell me at number 5, love it, like it, or hate it. All right. So, for example, I'll start with you, Kenny. Jeremiah Love at number 5 for the Giants. Love it, like it, or hate it.
Just like the name, gotta love it. Gotta love it. I mean, he could be the best player in this draft. And I'll say quick hitter style. So John Harbaugh said it in an interview with Mike Francesa at pick 5, which he's never picked this high before. You expect to pick somebody that's going to be in a gold jacket one day, and that means the Pro Football Hall of Fame. When I look at this draft class, Jeremiah Love fits that profile. So yes, love it.
Bobby, Jeremiah Love at 5. Love it, like it, or hate it.
If there was a word stronger than love, I would use that word. But love it.
Okay.
I might cry. I might actually cry as a Notre Dame fan, a Giant fan, and being drafted.
You go to the carnivals and you see. Remember the old game, the love meter was all the way at the top.
Yeah.
That's Bobby all the way at the top. Love breaking the lights there.
Bobby, I should send you the video that I made when the Giants drafted Abdul Carter. We can tell you about that one day. Anyway, okay. Sonny Styles. We talked about him a lot. Bobby, love it, like it, hate it.
Supposedly he had a fantastic combine, right? And he might have definitely helped himself. If we have to go defense, and it seems like we're probably getting rid of Thibodeau, right? Looks like he's probably on the training block.
Possibly, yes.
And to save some money, I'd take that. Yeah.
Okay. Kenny, love him, like him, or hate him?
Real quick, our good friend Trevor Salzman saying hello, boys. Great to see you.
Hey,
all.
Trevor.
What's up, Trevor? Like Bobby said, if it's defense that we're drafting and Jeremiah Love's off the board, this is my love, as Kurt always says, he's in bed with Sean Payton. Well, I'd be in not in bed with Sonny Styles, but I'd be in bed loving watching Sonny Styles play. So
Okay.
we'll
I
just
still
say
want to see a
that.
lineman. You know, we can pick the best lineman ever. It could be a gold jacket guy. But how many times you get those linemen in the first round and you all pumped up for the draft and you get some linemen? And while
Yeah.
it can be great, it's like Christmas morning and opening up a bad gift. It's like, oh,
Yep,
Yeah.
the offensive lineman over a playmaker. I know.
Yeah. Cornell Tate, Bobby, love him, like him, or hate him?
again, supposedly he didn't do as well, the speed or whatnot. Let's just rewind our tape from 5 minutes ago in regards to Malachi Fields. Same thing. If you're big deal, you're a second slower than they thought you were going to be. That means nothing when you can catch the ball and you're a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had a good argument. I'm a big CBS Sports guy. Their hypothesis was the Bills should go all in and draft that guy because very similar to like the Falcons went all in to get their big guy a couple years ago. I forgot his name off the top of my head.
Jake London? Or
No.
Kyle Pitts?
No, in the early 2000s.
Oh,
Julio Jones.
Julio Jones, yes. They traded up for him big time and traded the future.
Right.
It worked out for him, right?
yeah.
I would not be upset if his name is going to be called.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kenny?
I'm not in love with it at 5 because of the other players we just mentioned. Those two, I think one of those two will be on the board at 5.
Mm-hmm.
For this segment, because it's pick 5, I'm going to be more on the lines of hate because I think those other guys will be on the board. But if we could trade back 8, 9, 10 range, I would absolutely love Cornell Tate at that number.
Okay.
Hey guys, what about this real quick? What if we cannot get Jeremiah Love, right? Right. What would you trade back a few picks? Because there are going to be teams that love the guy. They're all going to love him. He might be a player that people move up for.
I was talking. You want to answer first, Paul? You want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was talking to Kurt about the same exact thing, Bobby. I said Saints and Chiefs could be bidding for Jeremiah Love. They both can use him, and they're both going to be afraid that the other team's going to, the Chiefs may try and get ahead of the Saints, and the Saints may think the Chiefs are going to try. Bidding war for the Giants. Here you come. Maybe you can get that 3rd round pick, move down just a couple spots and get a 3rd round pick, which you don't have in this draft. And you can still get somebody like maybe Sonny Styles may still be on that board, or Caleb Downs. You're going to get somebody good, or Cornell Tate. Somebody's going to be on that board. That's a good question.
Or even Jordan Tyson. Even Jordan Tyson.
Yeah.
There's top 10. There's going to be somebody good on the board. And
Yeah.
you can get a 3rd round pick. I would do it.
Speaking of Caleb Downs, Kenny, love, like, or hate?
At 5, like. That simple, like. I'd be okay with it. It would not be my top at number 5. I got one from Trevor when Bobby's done it for you, Paul. I'll give it to you. When
Caleb Downs.
He's a D-back, right?
Yeah, safety.
Yeah, I mean, who's the guy we're going to lose? Maybe Flott?
Flott's a free agent.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Kenny. I like it. I have to do more research to see if there's anybody better in a similar situation. But I like it. Don't love it.
I love it. I've seen interviews with him. I think this kid's going to be a player, and you know how John Harbaugh loves his safeties. So I'll leave it at that.
I'm going to give Paul
Arvell
one from
Reed.
Trevor.
Oh, okay. Go
First
ahead.
he's saying, watch out. Love could be in play for the Cardinals. That he's saying that's starting to gain some.
That's 3. Yeah. Yep.
But he wants to know about Mansour Delaney, Paul.
Yeah, I've seen him mocked to the Giants at 5. I hate it. I know they consider him one of the better defensive backs in the cornerbacks. I know we need a cornerback. I just that's too rich for my blood at 5. I'm sorry. I would not pick him at 5.
That could be a trade back scenario, and you get him. He's the best player available at pick 8 or 9, maybe.
Right.
That we could do
Yeah.
something like that and gain a third round pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
back to you, Paul. Thanks, Trevor, for
Okay.
that name. That's a good name.
Yeah, that was good. Arvell Reese. I mean, supposedly he might go to the Jets at 2, but hey, with all the other players now coming up, what do you think, Bobby? Arvell Reese, the edge from Ohio State.
Are we? Don't we have left edges?
Yeah.
Right? Don't we have left edges? Keep Thibodeau here. We're all getting rid of an edge. Keep Thibodeau. But it looks like the Jets are, is this the same guy the Jets are supposed to be getting?
Interested in, yeah.
The Jets traded they're supposed to be getting over the top D lineman left or in the draft. Again, you know, we're starting a new dawn here, a new era. Let's get something exciting. That's not exciting. He could be good. I'm not saying he's not gonna be a good player, but
Trevor, I'm gonna put
I like it, don't love it.
I'm gonna put Trevor's question in the queue because I definitely want to hit this up if we'll you know, when we wrap up the show in a couple minutes, Trevor. So hang out. We'll answer your question.
All right, Kenny.
I know I hate it, and I'll tell you why. I watched my Miami Hurricanes play Ohio State in the playoffs, and Arvell Reese did nothing against the offensive lineman who's going to be a top 10 pick, Francis Maniagua. He did nothing against. He didn't come near Carson Beck in that game, and I don't like him at all. His stock dropped, in my opinion, and it probably fit the Jets because the Jets always seem to mess things up and have underachieving players. So probably ruined the kid's career. And I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't like Arvell Reese.
Okay. Yeah. Watch. Somehow players that we want will go 3-4, 2-3-4, and we'll wind up, still be on the board. All right. Speaking of O linemen, we've talked about them a lot, Kenny. I'll do a combination of Spencer Fano and your guy, Managua. Love them, hate them, or like them.
Last week, I would have loved both of these guys. Strong like would be the right word to use at 5 because I really like Jeremiah Love, Sonny Styles, free agencies next week. We're going to have a big show next week, but I think you can pass on these offensive linemen and get something better and go free agent. So strongly like both of them, but I don't love them.
And by the way, guys, I was watching again, reading some stuff today. There are a lot of starting quality centers in free agency this year too.
Yeah,
including the one that John knows all so well.
Mm-hmm. You're 100% right. Bobby, love them, like them, or hate them for that 5 pick?
The lineman?
Yeah.
Again, I would. I mean, we all know the Harbaughs love to build up the trenches. And that's how they win their their success in the NFL. Again, I would like it. I would probably. That's the great example of, great pick, but it wouldn't be exciting. But once you get over the sadness of not getting a splashy pick, you realize, all right, that's solid. That's what the Harbaughs want.
I mean, and the other thing is, let's face it, Harbaugh's main idea is ball control, run the ball, keep Jackson Dart upright. So you build that offensive line in front of him and you keep him healthy. So that could be a reason why they might select one of those guys. Let me give you one more. I know we're running out of time.
You got plenty of time. Next show doesn't start until the Seton Hall game is over. So yeah, you got plenty of time.
There's
you got
All In on High School Sports Hockey is on Tuesdays. Next week, though, Bobby, we'll talk after the show. We're going to change our schedule so we're not conflicting with that.
I'll send. I'll do a screenshot when we're done so that you can see it. All right, cool. Gotcha.
Last one. The other receiver who they're saying is going up the boards, Makai Lemon, sort of a slot receiver. I've seen him go up as high as 10. Even I think he was even mocked to the Giants at 5. Love him, like him, or hate him, Kenny?
No, I don't like him. Yeah, I'm never was a big fan of USC guys as in general, but I just think he's not going to be a fit for the Giants and John Harbaugh. Maybe a Brian Dable coach team with no discipline, but I could see this guy being a character, get me the ball type of player in a year or
Right.
two, and
We
think
have
he's the
one
best
already.
player in the NFL. Yes, this one's an easy hate for me.
All right.
Dislike.
I mean, they're comparing him to Ahmad St. Brown. So, I mean, if the
That's a good
production was
comparison.
similar to that, I would take it. But Bobby, what do you think?
Hate at 5. Like if you drop down.
Okay.
If you go down to in the teens somewhere, if someone makes a big offer for us. Not a 5. Nah.
Let me ask you guys one more question. Not that we need this, but what happens if the scenario is that, and Kenny, you'll know where I'm going with this, maybe the best edge rusher somehow gets past the Jets, the Cardinals, and the Titans, and Ruben Bain is sitting there when the Giants are drafting at 5. Love it, hate it, or like it.
I'll like it because he's a Miami Hurricane, and John Harbaugh says you pick the best player available at 5. So if that's the best player available on the board and he drops to 5, you got to take him if that's John Harbaugh's philosophy. And then you just move like a Kayvon Thibodeau, and you work a NASCAR type package in there, and and run a unique defense.
Yeah. No, I agree. Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you kind of have to, right? Because he's best player available, and would even can't get too many edge rushes, right?
No,
Especially no.
I don't think
he's
so.
probably the exception of having the excess because he's probably worth it.
I would agree.
Yeah. I watched more than a lot of people, but you watched him in the playoffs, and he was making plays against Indiana in the national championship and Ohio State. He was making plays, and that's where you look at those big games. That's what I look for, my players to stand out there.
One more question. The Giants have met with a few players in the combine. A couple of names came up. A guy that I actually like and has been pretty good at Clemson, Peter Woods. All right. Defensive tackle, and another linebacker, Anthony Hill from Texas. If the Giants were to take one of those guys at 5, how angry, happy, pissed off, all of the above would you guys be if they happen to take one of those guys? Bobby?
I could never get as pissed off watching a draft as if when they drafted Daniel Jones. So I think that's my floor. That's my ceiling right there. As far as being angry watching a draft being
right.
Anthony Hill was at one point he was the number 1 high school recruit, right? Linebacker.
He was. Peter Wood.
Again, not another guy, not 5, maybe somewhere else. Not a gold jacket guy, as Kenny would say. Not a gold jacket guy.
Right.
I'll just say if they pick him at 5, I'm not going to be angry. I'm just going to say, damn, there's a scout out there that thinks he's a top 5 pick that nobody else had him picked that high. Man, I got to believe this scout and the coaching staff, but I don't think they would be in play at 5. Maybe second round for Anthony Hill. I'm on board with that. Late first round, early second round. Anthony Hill could be in play. Could be seriously in play for the Giants. Paul, I want to hit Trevor's question real quick to wrap it up, and then we'll get final thoughts in. I know what your guys' answers are going to be, but I'm going to ask anyway. Trevor wants to know, Bobby, I'll start with you. Who would be your guy's dream pick at number 5?
Hold on, I would add a prop to this. He wore a gold helmet.
Nice. And he's not talking about Jadarian Price. He's talking about the other running back.
Yeah, the other running back. The other
Jeremiah
guy.
Love. Paul, I know what your answer is going to be, but for those out there that are listening, let's hear it.
Yeah, listen, if we could meld the my Notre Dame fandom and New York Football Giant fandom, and wind up picking a guy who I believe is going to be the next great running back in the NFL, hey, I'm all for it.
I'm with my co-host, but I'll just be a little different, Trevor, to give a second name out there. They're the two Notre Dame fans, and Jeremiah Love could easily be the best player in this draft. But my dream pick, I guess I'm a defensive guy. I got to go with Sonny Styles. I've watched this guy rise up boards tremendously and ace the drills at the combine. I just think he's going to be, that much better and could be a true Ray Lewis-ish type of player that John Harbaugh is looking for in a middle linebacker. So not saying he's going to be Ray Lewis, but we're talking about gold jackets. That's what he's looking for at pick 5. I think you're going to see a Jeremiah Love, a Sonny Styles type player. I don't think it's going to be an offensive lineman. I think John Harbaugh is going to make a splash at pick 5, and I can't wait to see it, fellas. Thanks for that question, Trevor. Let's get some final thoughts in, gentlemen. We do have another show coming on. All In on High School Sports Hockey Edition is coming on shortly at 9 Eastern. It'll be shown on K&K, but you got Seton Hall stuff coming on, right, Bobby?
It'll be both.
It'll be on during the week, though. You can catch it on.
You know what? It'll be a good. I believe. I know YouTube will show 2 live videos at the same time.
Okay.
You know what? I'll actually use that as a little thing to see how it works out. 'Cause I have my TV right here. I have a TV over there to see what comes on. Maybe it's a selection. You maybe could choose which one you want to watch, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I believe they're deep in the playoffs too. So go check that out. All In on High School Sports Hockey version. Bobby, final thoughts. Thank you for hanging out with us again.
No, I mean,
mention Surge
anytime.
Sports again. At the end, what we got going on over there.
What I do want to do, Paul, we got to do a Notre Dame show.
Yeah. Hey.
I know a few guys that will join. Who are super diehards like us. But we'll talk about that. But now, again, we're entering a very exciting time of the year. Speaking of programming, I got to check with Eli, because since Eli and Jack are not, in the same state anymore, they've been doing our NFL draft night shows the past couple of years, the 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll figure that out. And our new show coming aboard, which I can't announce yet. One of the co-hosts is another huge Steelers fan, and I know the draft's in Pittsburgh this year, so we'll see. But great stuff, and great show. I could talk Giants until I lose my voice, but whenever you guys want me on, let me know. I'm there, because
you're always welcome.
We appreciate
I love this new thing. Like I said, I love this. It's like a new start. We have a new GM. We have a new coach. So the Steelers have the same thing, a new coach. So I think for both of my teams, it's a good time to really get into talking more. I need to get my eyes on screen more. That's my final thought.
All right.
I'll let Paul go last with the final thoughts of the evening. Again, Bobby, thank you for coming on. Everybody in the audience, the questions, the comments were great. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to not only K&K Sports Show, but Surge Sports on YouTube, Facebook, and you can also see us on the Roku and Amazon Fire streaming devices. Thank you, Bobby, for bringing us aboard. We are excited to bring this show each and every week to new audiences, and I think we're going places. I do want to mention one thing, Bobby. Next week, if you're okay with it, I know Kurt's okay with it, we want to move the show to Monday. That's where our show is going to be in the future because of the high school sports stuff on Tuesdays. Next week's free agency, we're going to come on live talk about the free agents that the Giants have signed and go right from there. We're going to have first crack at it. And if you want to join us for a live free agent frenzy type of show next week, the offer's there, of course.
The only way I would not make it next week, it would be a good thing, because that would mean St. Mary is in the non-public B finals.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
That would be played next Monday. They play Thursday at Gil St. Bernard. If they happen to win that game, the finals are next. It will be next Monday. Otherwise, they'll be home and
Okay.
not wearing a hoodie because it's cold.
Well, good luck to St. Mary's. We hope to not see you next week. Good luck to St. Mary's. I hope take that as a compliment in the best way.
Yeah.
Thank you. But back to our original day and time, Monday evening, 7:30 Eastern time. We'll be back there each and every Monday night going forward. Paul, final words this evening, my friend.
yeah. Listen, Bobby, always a pleasure to have you on talking Giant football with us. We appreciate that greatly. Kenny, of course, my brother from another. Thank you, everybody, for the questions, comments. Like we say week after week, we're here because we love doing what we're doing, but we do it because we have you guys out there, and we appreciate you, each and every one of you. So let's go Giants, and we'll see you guys next week.
Take care.